Happy Saturday. We're not screaming today. Today is going to be kind of a chilled, very powerful broadcast. So welcome to Periscope, guys. I hope everybody's having a blessed Saturday. Paul and I build our business as reds, but we are actually whites when we're at home. When we function by ourselves, we are total whites. So, we love that you are here. This is episode 88. Happy Saturday.
What's up, guys? So,
we love you guys so much. Thanks for being on.
This is our last weekend with you on Periscope on a 90-day run. We are going to finish up on Monday is our last day. So we're talking about all the most important things, or what we perceive as the most important things for somebody to understand, you know, what matters to us most. So hopefully you guys are going to get a lot out of this episode. But before we get started, my name is Paul.
Somebody just saw the Pope. How powerful is that? That's beautiful.
That's awesome.
Beautiful. Welcome. My name is Lynette.
So.
And this is Paul.
Oh yeah, I already said that.
Oh, you did? Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry. We are holistic health coaches and industry trainers, and we're going to kind of tone it down just a little bit today because today is going to be a powerful episode. There's something that we really need you guys to understand in order for you to move in your business, and the only way that you can do that is to make sure that your energy is correct and in alignment. So today is a very powerful episode, so please grab your notes. We've got a lot of stuff for you that maybe you didn't even realize, and I'm getting chills just thinking about this. This is my favorite episode of all.
So
isn't this a beautiful song? We heard this at University in Action with David T.S. Wood.
Yeah,
so.
It's powerful. Guys, today's episode is about one of the rules of the game that we talk about a lot, which is energy. And we always talk about energy first, techniques and mechanics second. Today, there's no chest beating today.
No chest beating.
It's all about
all crazy.
It's all about finding our center. I mean, if people are uncomfortable with that, being in alignment with your purpose, being in alignment with your mission, making sure that how you're showing up in the world is going to result or give you the results that you're looking for.
So if everybody will just kind of take a deep breath, relax your shoulders, just relax, because when you are in a relaxed state, that is when magic happens. It's when we become tense, is when we put up boundaries around our energy and we have blocks in our lives. So when you relax, just breathe, just kind of go with the moment, be in flow, be like water. You'll see things shift not only in your business, but your life. So yesterday, go ahead.
How many of us have been going through certain things in our day, and by the end of the day, we're so tensed up? I mean, we almost have like our shoulders are to our ears because we're all like tensed up and locked up. And that comes back to being responsible for our own energy. You know, feeling good is not going to happen by accident. Being motivated is not going to happen by accident. A lot of people wake up and expect the world to motivate them, or the world to kind of fill their soul with gratitude and meaning, or create happiness in their life. But it's not the world's responsibility; it's yours. You actually don't get motivated. You don't get happy. You don't get fulfilled. You create it from within. It starts from within. And we're going to talk a lot about gratitude today. We're going to talk a lot about rising into your power, rising into a new state of being, of consciousness, I guess, if you want to put it that way. That's going to put you in a different place. That your actions are more effective. That they're going to be more impactful, because the bottom line is the more people we can help, the more value that we can add to people's lives, the more that's going to come back to us and show up in a real way for our business.
I saw somebody mention that we're changing the game, and I want to say that you and everybody on Periscope, we're changing the game, because we believe that God has given us a beautiful platform to share what we know, share our knowledge with you, so then we together as leaders can help rise humanity. Because we have to do that together. This can't be just a Paul and I thing, or Paul, I, and Jill thing. It is all of us collectively as leaders, and we're doing this. So congratulations to you guys for not only shifting your own business, but everything that you're doing is a direct reflection of lives being changed, both financially and physically. So let's go ahead and get into today's episode, because there's a few things that I really want you to grasp. Because when nobody's teaching this stuff, the things that I'm getting chills again. The things that Paul and I will be teaching today, nobody else is training on this. Many of the things you can't see behind the scene, because absolutely Jill Bowman is doing this and she's teaching us this, but there's other things also that I want to implement and tell you guys that you may not be aware of. So if you don't mind, I want to go ahead and just tell you our quick story, because some of you probably don't know what Paul and I went through in the very beginning. And before we came into our company, which is Isogenics, Paul and I mastered the law of attraction for 45 days before we even knew what Isogenics was. We knew that we wanted something in our life. Our backs were up against the wall, and we knew that the law of attraction was working. We kind of knew, and it was just kind of a hit or miss. We couldn't really master it. So we said, you know what? If something doesn't change, then nothing will change. So we started to master the law of attraction. And we won't go into deep detail about that, but for 45 days straight, we knew that we had to get our energy in alignment. We knew that we had to get really grounded, or nothing in our life was going to change. So, gosh, it was probably in January, February of 2014, right? Mm-hmm. We began to really study the law of attraction. I can give you a couple of books that we implemented and read. A few things that we did, we went outside and grounded. If you're not familiar with grounding, it's really you're placing your feet on the earth and just taking a few deep breaths and just getting connected with God, connecting with earth, and just letting fears go, letting worries go. We didn't worry about the how. All we know is that we concentrated on our why, right?
Yeah, we couldn't worry about the how because we didn't know how.
We didn't know.
When we talk about how somebody's trying to find somebody's why is meaningless in the scheme of things as far as getting them to move. Well, that may be true in a group sense. We're trying to inspire people to move into action, but when we're talking about a why personally, knowing what your own why is, knowing what makes you tick, knowing what's going to get you inspired to the point where you're going to take action, regardless of the fears, regardless of the feedback you're getting, regardless of what you think you're worth. You're going to push through all that, release all the blocks and resistance, and keep going. When you find that mission, that purpose, that alignment, that reason for existing, then things start to take a turn for the better. Now, when she talked about we were trying to master the law of attraction, because we're always continually improving ourselves. It's about that's all we knew. We knew that there was an energy bigger than ourselves, that if we could tap into it, I think Abraham Hicks talks about tapping into the vortex. And this is, basically being in a state of total alignment where what you're putting out there is going to resonate with the right people at the right time, so they'll be attracted to you in your life.
Now, I do want to say this real quickly. If the verbiage that Paul and I are saying does not resonate with you, I don't want you to jump off because it sounds too woo-woo or sounds too far out there. I really just want you to get the essence of the message of what we're saying. So you can use whatever verbiage that you prefer, but this is the only verbiage that we know. So again, I don't want you to miss the points of what we're saying because I think it's universal regardless. Does that make sense? So don't get offended. That's not ever our intention, is to ever offend anyone. We come from a place of peace and a place of love, and we just want to share what we have learned in hopes that it works for you too. Okay? So
somebody's in Walt Disney World, so that's awesome.
That's kind of cool. That's kind of cool.
So guys, we're going to talk about, a lot of people talk about an attitude of gratitude. This is one of the most powerful states of being that you could be at. And we'll get into the scale that we talked about before. This has been a long time since we've done a gratitude episode. But the reason we talk about this state of being, a lot of people think gratitude is an emotion, where that may be true to a certain point. It's actually a state of being. Like if you're in gratitude on a consistent basis, that will automatically create new things to be thankful for. That will put you in a place where you'll start attracting the right people to your business. We knew we weren't that good at, we didn't have a big network of people. We didn't have, a very dynamic.
I was ugly too. Oh, Lynette was ugly too.
We didn't have very dynamic or intense, social networks that we were part of outside of the house. So we didn't know what else to do except for, let's learn how to attract people to us. And we always had a fundamental belief that we'll never say the wrong thing to the right person, and we'll never say the right thing to the wrong person. Meaning, if they're meant to be part of your journey, part of your team, part of your business, then it doesn't matter. As long as you are taking the initiative to create that interaction, they'll be there. And if you think that they should be in your business and they're not the right person, it doesn't matter what you do. So it takes a lot of the frustration out of your work. It takes a lot of the emotion as far as that, when people don't see the result that they're expecting. Remember, we talk about detaching yourself from the outcome. It takes a lot of that out of there. So just being in the state of gratitude.
So let me tell you a few things that I've learned along the way, because today's episode is truly about gratitude. We're going to go into training, so hang with us, because this is going to blow your mind once I show you this. But there's a few new people that are on, and even if you're not new, maybe some of you don't know this, but we are divine beings that vibrate at a certain frequency. And the beautiful thing about our company is that we have the most high vibratory herbs that are in our products. So this is just something that I do. I prefer the liquid Cleanse for Life and the liquid Ionic Supreme. Let me grab this real quick. The reason being I prefer the liquid is because I don't know if some of you have been to corporate, but there is a corporate tour over at Isogenics, which is on Chandler, if you're here in Arizona, every Friday at 11:30. And they told us this on the tour, because when you first walk into the lobby, there is a huge, beautiful quartz crystal. Did you know that our products are filtered through clear quartz crystal? All the liquids are filtered through clear quartz crystal, which means that these all vibrate at a high frequency. So when some of you jump on board in this particular company, not only is your vibration shifting because of the high vibratory herbs, and now you're eating much more healthier and you're drinking filtered clear water, people start to fall off in your life. Friends don't want to talk to you anymore. Family don't want to talk to you, have nothing to do with you anymore. And some of you are thinking, am I doing something wrong? Is it network marketing? Is it my company? Is it me?
No.
It's not. The reason this happened is almost like a divine protective mechanism around you, because you are vibrant. Look, I'm getting chills. You rise at a high vibratory state that anybody who is low frequency, who has low energy, they can't even be in the same room with you. So that is what's truly happening. You are stepping into your own power, and you have no idea that you are. So you need to own what's happening to yourself. When you take these products and you're starting to eat healthier, you're eating less GMO foods, you're eating more organic foods, and you're drinking much more water, you're taking the greens and the fruits. Guys, you are a divine being stepping now into your power, and those around you can't even stand to be in the same room with you. It's not you in a negative sense, it's you rising, and that's a good thing. And then now you will begin to attract people who vibrate the same frequency as you, and that's who you want in your business.
Yeah, guys.
There's no coincidence that you are attracted to Paul and I. Paul and I always attract the most beautiful, success-driven, high vibratory people in our life. I don't have time for the funky funk people. The funky funk people don't even come near us. They don't even come near us. I don't even attract it because my mind is not even there.
Guys, it's not that You probably have heard it another way. It's not that chickens and eagles can't hang out together. They don't, because they don't match. The eagles are meant to soar. The chickens are meant to sit around and cluck 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 on the ground all day. You know, this is a good analogy, because when you're flying, other people, they decide to stay on the ground. And as much and as bad as we want them to come with us, most of them won't. That's okay. It's just part of life.
So, in addition, Paul and I always talk about this powerful book that changed and shifted our life. When we first got into the business, we were hitting a lot of roadblocks, and it wasn't until we read this book that our business shifted. It's called The Magic by Rhonda Byrne. It's called The Magic. And maybe some of you already have this book and you haven't completed the book, or you put it down. So today is just a reminder that if you already have this book, to start over and read it again. Because this book is all about gratitude, and many of you think, well, I know about gratitude, I don't have to read that. Because that's what Paul and I said.
That's what we thought.
It wasn't until we read this book that we were, again, mind blown. And this book brought me to my knees. I mean, crying hysterically, because how ungrateful have I been living my life when you are not grateful for your upline, and you're not grateful for this company, grateful for the products, grateful for being able to pay your bills, or being grateful for getting your ISA wallet loaded every Monday. I mean, it's the littlest things that Paul and I began to say, thank you, thank you, thank you. It is the power of the 3 thank yous that does something very magical, and you'll learn that when you read this book. It's called The Magic. It's all about gratitude, and it's not just about a one single time gratitude. It is being in a state of gratitude all day long.
No, a lot of people think this is a book to read. It's not. It's a workbook. This is actually a workbook from page 1 to the end, because it takes you on like a 28 or 29 day journey with assignments. I mean, it literally has homework to do every day. So that's the cool part about this book, is you walk through this chapter by chapter and you do stuff. And if you don't do it, you're not going to get the benefit out of it. But if you do these things, your whole mindset will change. Your whole energy will change. Like, automatically.
And your life shifts literally instantly.
Yeah, we noticed a change probably within days, and then by week 2, it was like powerful changes. The people around us, how they were interacting with us, how we saw the world, the opportunities that we had, the abundance that we currently lived in. That alone changed what we thought as far as where we're headed.
When you are in a state of gratitude, it is literally, and I'll show you here in just a moment during the training, it is one of the highest frequencies or highest states that you can be in. And when you're in a state of gratitude, you manifest like that. You literally can manifest so fast. So these are life principles. It's not just about the business, it is about life. These are things that I teach my son. I teach my son to always be in a state of gratitude, and the first negative thing that comes out of his mouth, I'm like, what are you thankful for today? What are you thankful for this opportunity? Or what did you learn about today? How can you be thankful for it? So if you're a parent, it's never too late to start teaching your children about gratitude. So let's kind of get in our training, unless you want to kind of talk about a few other things. But isn't this kind of mind-blowing? Don't you guys love this episode? I do. I could talk about this all day long.
How amazing, how amazing would this be if you guys grabbed it today or this weekend and you started, because we're finishing up the first third of our 90-day game plan. How amazing would it...
Nicole are on, hi.
Hey guys, how amazing would it be to repeat this twice over the next 60 days left in the 90-day game plan? How would that change your end result? I mean, if you...
I got it. Why don't we give it away? Let's do that. We'll give this away.
We're giving it away.
I will give today's episode, we'll give away the Magic and the sleep spray to a lucky viewer, because we do know that sleep is super important, because we need you to have deep sleep. Not only is it great for weight loss, but it's great for dreaming. I have such vivid dreams, and it's a great place to, before you go to bed, to be in a state of gratitude, because it talks about it here, and then you can go and have your nice sleep.
Let me just tell you a little something about the sleep spray.
Oh, he loves the sleep spray. He's going to get all nerdy.
This is on a actual physical level. This has nothing to do with dreaming and everything like that. Normally, because when we're hitting the gym, we're hitting it pretty hard, and my body needs rest. And I eat a lot of food, right? So it takes a lot of energy to digest all that food. I needed a minimum of 8 hours sleep, a minimum of 8 hours sleep to function in the world. Now, seriously, with this stuff, I'll go to bed 6 hours later. I am up. It doesn't matter. Like 6 hours, I'm good, and I have more energy than I had with the 8+ hours before. It's so dramatic. I had no idea, and that could be, physical hormone levels of melatonin in my body. It could be the fact that it puts me in REM longer and deeper. I mean, who knows what it is? I'm sure it's all that. But
one little squirt on a little toddler.
Yeah.
Somebody gave my son, when they were really little, Benadryl, and I was like having a conniption fit because my son does not take any medication. When he was little, up until now, he's 20 years old, never has been on medication. And then he spent the night with somebody, and they gave him Benadryl to go to sleep. And I'm like, oh, hell no. Right? My mama bear came out. I'm like, oh no.
I use
great for kids.
I use 3 to 4 sprays. Typically, I think you do about 3 sprays.
I do
right?
3 sprays.
Yeah. So
and I wake up, boom, like this.
You don't
so
even
refreshed.
You don't need double the sprays if you're bigger or whatever. So
my board that we're about to bring out is actually vertical, so we're gonna have to switch the camera. Sorry about that, guys. But I think when you see this board, you're gonna go, oh, no way, no way. So let's bring this out. And he's gonna switch the camera real quick, so hold on. I hope you guys are really enjoying this broadcast because this is one of my favorites.
Did it switch? Yeah, good.
This is for all the whites out there who are peaceful. I know you guys are really appreciating this broadcast.
Let's see here.
So this is a scale based off power versus force, but I need you to understand where the frequency lies in regards to gratitude. Gratitude is such an important state and emotion to be in that I need you to constantly be doing self-assessment checks to ensure that you are always in a state of gratitude. Even if you're just walking the dog or you're out in a grocery store, just find things to be so eternally grateful. Because look, I really want to show you this. The highest frequency that a person can be in is at 1,000. We are literally at God conscious level. I'm talking about the Gandhis, the Mother Teresas, it's like Jesus up here. God consciousness. This is where you're vibrating at the highest level. To be in a state of gratitude is where you're actually vibrating at a 900. When you're in a state of appreciation, you're actually vibrating at a 780. These are high vibratory states that you can be in. Even love is only at a 500. Being in a state of hope and optimism is at a 400. Now, I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time in the reds because I don't want you to stay down here, but you need to figure out where you are on this scale at this particular time, because if you're bored, or your husband's bored, your kids are bored, this is where they're at. They're vibrating at a 250.
And we're not talking about red in personality type, we're talking about the red in color here. So
when you're in a state of anger, worry, or doubt, you're down here at 150, and then you wonder why your business isn't growing or you can't attract the people that you need in your business. That's because you're vibrating in such a low vibratory state that you can't even attract anything to your life. Fear. You're scared of posting. You're scared of talking to people. You're scared. You're fearful. That's 100. You're in a state of grief. I understand this is part of life, but we need to, as quickly as possible, work our way up the scale. Now, you can't go from grief to gratitude or grief and appreciation and stay up here. This is truly a high vibratory state. You're going to have to work your way up.
And guys, that's important to keep in mind because, we can't always live here if we're naturally down here. If this is our normal state of being, if this is what we're used to for the last 10, 20, 30, 40 years of our life, 50 years of our life, getting here and staying here is almost impossible. But if you can dip into this energy, then the next time you go back up into this energy, you'll be able to stay there longer. Does that make sense? So
yes.
If there's some issues that we're having living here where we're feeling guilty or we're worried about bills because of course there's more month than at the end of the money, then when we're looking at this and we're living here, if we can dip into this, we start to move slowly out of this and move up the scale, and we can stay in these states longer.
No, this is off of a book that I read.
Oh.
It's actually off the Power versus
Yeah.
Force.
So there's a book by David R. Hawkins called Power versus Force. He talks a lot about that, but he'll talk about the numbers, and that's actually a physical energetic measure, which we won't get into now because it's a little bit involved. But guys, definitely a great book. I'd encourage you to pick that up.
Guilt and shame is down here. What did you do, maybe in your earlier years, that you just live in a constant state?
Or what do you feel guilty for that you didn't do? Maybe something happened in your childhood that you still feel guilty about, but it was never your fault. I know I have personal experience with that, and I know a lot of people have personal experience with that. Guys, there are things that we live down here for no reason.
Oh, who said that? Is that Cindy? I can't see. Oh, beautiful. And of course, death. But the more that you're closer down here, the more dead you are as a human being. So don't stay down here. Make a conscious effort to go back up here. Find things you can be grateful for. There are things that you can love. Find love and be love. Just find hope if that's all that you can do. But this is almost like an emotional scale. You may have to work your way up, and that's okay. But this is so important for you to understand, where are you each and every moment of every hour? Where are you vibrating? Because if the longer you can stay up here, the easier life becomes for you, in all areas.
We talk a lot about the mind and the body, but this one has to do with the soul. This one has to do.
The author's name?
Oh, the author's name is David R. Hawkins. Hawkins with an INS. So when we're talking about that scale, we're not talking about death in a physical sense. We're not talking about you're dying in a physical sense. We're talking about your soul is dying. That you're losing your purpose. You're losing your ability to find fulfillment and create value for other people. Because that's one of the best ways to move up the scale, is add value to other people. It takes the eyes off yourself, put it on other people. You start moving up that scale big time. You start finding...
Paul does Reiki. He does Reiki on me.
You start finding more things to be grateful for. And then you continually move up there. And along with that scale, we saw love is in the middle. Why wouldn't that be the highest vibratory emotional state? Well, because if you think about it, love without gratitude is less than it could be, right? If you just added gratitude on top of love, it's so much more powerful than it is without it. And we find more to love about that person or that situation. So we know that gratitude is the ultimate state.
People who know me, I love crystals. If it doesn't resonate with you, that's okay. But in the early stages, I don't really rely on crystals as much, but I love crystals. I love making sure this, for me, just helped me with making sure my vibration was in alignment. I have a rose quartz, which is great for love and the heart chakra, clear quartz crystal. I have so many crystals around the house. If you ever came to my house, you'd be like, oh, it's like a gemstone factory in here. But it's just something that I do. If it works for you, great. If not, then don't worry about it. Maybe you could just simply use a rosary or a crucifix of some sort, or whatever resonates with you. But it's just making sure that you stay in a state of gratitude as much and as often as you can, making sure that you eat the most high vibratory foods, because that's why processed foods and dead foods do not serve you as a divine human being. So please be aware of that. So eat as much live, raw foods as you can. That's why, if you can, incorporate a little bit more of the liquids into your diet.
It matters. And when we talk about the rules of the game, we talk about energy, but we also talk about you are 100% responsible for your efforts and your results. And it goes right along with this. You are 100% responsible for your energy, how you show up in the world, and whether that has an impact in a positive way in your life and other people's lives. And that goes along with creating the habit, right? Because gratitude is a habit, right? Being in the state of gratitude is a habit. Being in the state of happiness and motivation is a habit. And that's your responsibility.
Yeah,
Nobody's going to generate that for you except for you.
So somebody asked no meats. The episode's not really about being a vegan or vegetarian. I incorporate all types of diets into my life and into my diet. But Paul and I only eat grass-fed meats and organic meats. That's just what we prefer.
And there's a special thing. You know, a lot of people talk about the whole, should I be a vegan to raise my vibration or not? Whereas what the discussion should be is, how are you consuming the food that you're consuming? What is the intention behind your consumption? If you are eating it in a gluttonous way, if you're eating it in a haphazard, I don't think about the sacrifice behind this food, then I think that it doesn't matter how clean or healthy that food is, you're missing the point. But if you have a reverence or a kind of a thankfulness, a gratefulness with the food that you are consuming, then something happens internally where you process it a little bit differently. Because believe it or not, everything that we do eat can be affected by the way we feel about eating it. And
no guilt allowed.
Yeah. So there's a lot behind that, and you know, if we had a whole nother Periscope channel, we would do a completely different health episode for like 15 years because we have tons of information on that. But you know, in this regard, I think the intention behind your consumption is more important than the actual consumption.
Yes, all liquids go through the clear quartz crystal, even the little 2 ounces, because it's liquid. So.
Well, it's the water that they get comes from these the clear quartz crystal aquifers, and that's where they're coming from. So it's purified, clean water through these springs that are surrounded and bathed in the crystals.
I think John Anderson knows something. I swear he does, because when you go through the corporate tour, inside one of their executive rooms, they have the petrified wood.
This huge petrified wood table.
It's beautiful. It's a beautiful piece, and then you can see throughout some of the other offices they have amazing, beautiful.
They got
crystals,
these clusters of crystals.
And I'm like a little kid in a candy store. I'm like, there's crystals. That's how I knew for sure that I was in the right company, because.
Well, we were 2 weeks into the business, and we went to corporate and we saw that, and she was like, "Yep, I'm good. We're fine." So.
There was a clear quartz crystal, beautiful one in the lobby, and I knew I was home. Yeah. I knew I was home. So don't forget that on, I believe, late Sunday, Monday, there will be a beautiful, powerful super moon. It is a blood moon, full moon, which just means full moons have a lot of endings. So if you find certain things in your life beginning to shift and end, that's okay. Just know that God and the universe is moving you into a new dimension, a new area of your life where you need to grow as a human being, because that's just how it works. Things will start to begin to maybe fall off and end in your life, whether it may be relationships or certain things happening in your life. That's okay. Just know that you are always supported by the higher beings, by God. So just keep that in mind. There's a lot of powerful shifts and energies. We just went through a fall equinox as well. So a lot of things are just shifting and happening, and you might be feeling going crazy. Just put your helmet on, right? Put your helmet on and just go with the flow. And just know
tighten the strap and let's go.
Just know that you're always supported and you're always loved. Just do your part in staying in alignment, staying centered, and in a state of gratitude and peace. And just love on everybody. Just add as much value to other people's lives. Get off the crazy train, because we need you to shift back into your heart space. That's why the 30-second story is so powerful, because this is when you're coming from the heart space. So if you want to this weekend, I would highly encourage you to do a 30-second story, whether it's a physical, maybe you had a health transformation, a 30-second health transformation, do a 30-second story on video and post that in your product page. Or maybe you had a financial one that you maybe want to share with the world on your personal page. But try to do a 30-second story and watch your business shift. We need to start coming from the heart space. Gloria mentioned this today in our business page. I think it is very profound, because sometimes the product page can sound it can look like just advertising. All you're doing is just posting, non-connective type posts. So get into the heart space, because remember, blues dominate our industry and our company. There's a lot of blues in the product pages, and they like to work through the heart space and connect. So if you can do your 30-second story, that would be amazing. So
6-year-old Jason loves giving us some hearts, so that's awesome. Thank you. Guys, you know what? A total coincidence.
What is this crystal bed of water was told? It's 4,200 years old. That's amazing.
Yes.
Wow.
So that's where that water comes from. Guys, total coincidence, or is it the fact that we're ending our Periscope 90-day go on the day of the full moon when things tend to end.
That's pretty crazy.
Yeah,
on my birthday.
Somebody commented at the bottom. So yes, we definitely did observe that, but that was a total coincidence. So we didn't try to time it that way. But
don't you love synchronicity? I love synchronicity.
So guys, hopefully that helped. We have another launch party today, which we're super pumped about. So guess what? We're wrapping up the end of week 4 in the 90-day game plan. We never want to forget where we're at and where we're going, so we want to keep pushing. Today was about being grateful for what you have, not only in your business, but in your life and everything that you can possibly think of. If you don't have it, pick up the book, The Magic. We're going to pick a winner somehow, and we're going to get that out to you guys.
So some of you have funny handles. I don't know your names, so we're going to do our best, and we usually do like a random drawing.
So what happens is we'll do a random drawing, and if we can find you on Facebook, we tend to, and we do. We can contact you that way. If we don't, then we'll actually talk about it tomorrow and try to figure out how to connect. So
winner, isoline dinner. I love it. Yes, and if you already have the magic and you wind up winning, then just give it to someone maybe on your team.
Yep.
And you can never have too much sleep spray, so just make sure you're getting restful sleep. Be in a state of gratitude all day. I don't care where you're at. You have no money. Your car's about to be impounded. We don't care. We've been there, and Paul and I just always stayed in a state of gratitude, which is why I think that we moved through our hardship much quicker.
Yeah.
So if you're constantly in hardship, really go back to gratitude so you can shift your life, and then things will begin to move, and you'll remove the blocks from your life. So
yeah, guys, so let's keep pushing on this the 90-day game plan. Let's close out week 4 in a big way. This is going to be a big weekend. Again, whatever you've got to do, make sure you go to the rest of the weekend with a plan and really push through, because tomorrow we're going to wrap up week 4, and then Monday we're going to wrap up our Periscopes, where we're going to launch into week 5 for the 90-day game plan.
And don't forget that you can find all of our Periscopes. Larry Fuchs has recorded all of us on YouTube, so go to L Fuchs 1959 or type in Global Executives or type in Paul and Lynette and we'll come up. So he has been recording our episodes, I think, all the way back to like maybe 48. So that is our gift to you. Larry, thank you so much for doing that for us.
Yep.
And as always, we want nothing more than for you to live this extraordinary life. Life does not have to be hard for you.
Yeah, how blessed are we to have this opportunity? We can live it without physical or financial pain.
So join us on this mission.
Because it's a stone cold fact.
We do. We've got a better way.
Now
let's go tell the world.
Tell the world and be grateful we have.
We love you so much. Bye.